Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're here today. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that I know many of you are curious about: narcissism. Specifically, we'll be exploring the nuances of how narcissism presents differently in men and women. While the core traits of this personality disorder remain largely consistent, societal expectations and ingrained gender roles can significantly influence how these traits manifest in our interpersonal interactions. By understanding these differences, we can better equip ourselves to identify and navigate these complex dynamics. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up so you don't miss out on future insights. Before we delve into the gender-specific expressions of narcissism, let's establish a common understanding of the fundamental traits that characterize this disorder. At its core, narcissism is characterized by a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, a need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. Now, this doesn't mean that individuals with narcissistic traits are completely devoid of empathy. Rather, their capacity for empathy is often overshadowed by their own needs and desires. They may struggle to truly understand or relate to the experiences and feelings of others, often viewing the world through a self-centered lens. This grandiose sense of self-importance can manifest in a constant need for praise and validation from others. They might exaggerate their accomplishments and talents, seeking to maintain an inflated sense of self. This need for admiration often stems from a deep-seated insecurity and a fragile sense of self-worth. Furthermore, individuals with narcissistic traits often exhibit a sense of entitlement, believing that they are special and deserve preferential treatment. They might struggle to accept criticism, even when it's constructive, and may react with anger or defensiveness. This sense of entitlement can extend to their relationships, where they might expect their partners, friends, or family members to cater to their needs without reciprocation. Now, it's crucial to remember that narcissism exists on a spectrum. Not everyone who displays some of these traits has narcissistic personality disorder. However, when these patterns are persistent and pervasive, causing significant distress or impairment in various areas of life, it's essential to seek professional guidance and support. Now, let's explore how these narcissistic traits can manifest in the context of romantic relationships, focusing specifically on male narcissists. It's important to note that these are general tendencies, and not every male narcissist will exhibit all of these behaviors. Often in the initial stages of a relationship, male narcissists can be incredibly charming and charismatic. They might shower their partners with attention, compliments, and extravagant gestures. This can create a whirlwind romance that feels intoxicating and exciting. However, this charm is often a facade, a calculated tactic to lure their partners into their web. As the relationship progresses, the controlling behaviors often surface. Male narcissists have a deep-seated need to feel in control, and they might exert this control through various means, such as monitoring their partner's whereabouts, dictating their choices, or isolating them from their support system. They might belittle their partner's accomplishments or interests, aiming to undermine their self-esteem and make them more dependent. Another common tactic employed by male narcissists is the silent treatment. When they feel challenged or criticized, they might withdraw emotionally, refusing to communicate or engage in any meaningful way. This can be incredibly emotionally damaging to their partners, leaving them feeling confused, hurt, and desperate for connection. It's crucial to remember that you deserve to be in a relationship where you feel respected, valued, and loved for who you are. If you find yourself in a relationship with a male narcissist, it's essential to prioritize your own well-being and seek support from trusted friends, family members, or a therapist. While we often associate narcissism with male behaviors, it's important to recognize that women can also exhibit these traits, albeit often in ways that are less overt and more covert. One common manifestation of female narcissism is the queen bee archetype. These women often crave being the center of attention and admiration, surrounding themselves with people they perceive as inferior or less attractive. They might engage in subtle forms of manipulation and control, using their social status or influence to maintain their position of power. Another common presentation is the martyr narcissist. These women often derive their sense of self-worth from being needed and indispensable. They might constantly offer unsolicited advice or help even when it's not wanted, and then hold it over others' heads. They might play the victim, portraying themselves as selfless and sacrificing while subtly manipulating those around them. Jealousy and competitiveness are also hallmarks of female narcissism. They might feel threatened by other women, especially those they perceive as more attractive, successful, or popular. This can lead to passive-aggressive behaviors, such as spreading rumors, gossiping, or sabotaging others' efforts. It's important to remember that these are just a few examples, and the ways in which female narcissism manifests can be incredibly varied and nuanced. However, the underlying theme is a pervasive pattern of self-centeredness, a lack of empathy, and a need to maintain control and superiority. The development of narcissism is a complex interplay of genetic predispositions and environmental influences. While research suggests that there might be a genetic component to personality disorders, it's the early childhood experiences that often play a pivotal role in shaping these traits. Children who grow up in environments where they are either excessively pampered and indulged or conversely neglected and emotionally deprived are at a higher risk of developing narcissistic tendencies. When children are constantly told they are special and superior without any grounding in reality or emphasis on empathy and compassion, it can foster a sense of entitlement and grandiosity. On the other hand, children who experience neglect or emotional deprivation might develop narcissistic traits as a way to compensate for their unmet needs. They might create a grandiose sense of self to protect themselves from feelings of inadequacy or worthlessness. Societal expectations and cultural norms also contribute to the different ways in which narcissism manifests in men and women. Men are often encouraged to be assertive, ambitious, and even aggressive in their pursuit of success, which can, in some cases, blur the lines between healthy ambition and narcissistic entitlement. Women, on the other hand, are often socialized to be more nurturing, empathetic, and self-sacrificing. While these are valuable qualities, they can be exploited by individuals with narcissistic tendencies, leading to unhealthy relationship dynamics. Understanding the interplay of these factors can help us approach narcissism with greater empathy and compassion, recognizing that it is often a maladaptive coping mechanism rooted in early childhood wounds. Dealing with a narcissist, whether it's a romantic partner, family member, friend, or colleague, can be incredibly challenging and emotionally draining. However, by understanding their tactics and setting firm boundaries, you can protect your own well-being and navigate these relationships with greater awareness. One of the most important things to remember is that you cannot change a narcissist. Trying to reason with them, appeal to their empathy, or get them to see your perspective is often an exercise in futility. Their lack of self-awareness and resistance to change make it highly unlikely that they will alter their behavior, even if they promise to do so. Therefore, the most effective approach is to focus on protecting yourself. This starts with setting firm boundaries. Clearly communicate what behaviors are unacceptable and what the consequences will be if those boundaries are crossed. Be prepared to follow through with those consequences, as narcissists often test boundaries to see what they can get away with. It's also crucial to limit your interactions with the narcissist as much as possible. This might mean reducing contact, ending the relationship altogether, or, if that's not feasible, finding ways to emotionally detach from their words and actions. Remember that you deserve to be treated with respect, dignity, and kindness. If you find yourself constantly feeling drained, manipulated, or emotionally abused, it's a sign that you need to prioritize your own well-being and create healthy distance. Seeking support from a therapist or counselor can be incredibly beneficial in navigating these complex dynamics. A therapist can provide you with the tools and strategies to set boundaries, manage your emotions, and develop a stronger sense of self-worth. Understanding the nuances of narcissism, particularly how it manifests differently in men and women, is crucial for navigating the complexities of interpersonal relationships. Remember, knowledge is power. By recognizing the red flags, setting firm boundaries, and prioritizing your own well-being, you can protect yourself from narcissistic abuse and cultivate healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more insights on mental health, relationships, and personal growth.